What is going on, everyone? We are once again trying to figure out one of these abilities. So what I'm looking at right now is the robber ability. So what the robber ability is, let's start with that. Let's go into abilities and just read off what the description is here, just so you get an idea of what it actually says it will do. Slightly to ultimate movement in zone coverage. Zone coverage, it says. So that is that. And it's available on lurker, linebackers, field corners, and coverage specialist safeties. So, yeah, there we go. Let's see, I feel like I'm missing something here. Sorry, I'm trying to get my chat back up here, and I cannot get it for some reason. All right, well, I don't know where the chat is. Let's see. I can pull it up in there we go. All right, found it. What is going on? I actually can see my chat now. Demond Hicks, what's up? All right. Let's go back through this. So yes, I'm testing out Robber. I want to see how we can trigger it, and then how well it does. Mr. Galladay right here is going to be the test subject. Once I can figure out, I'll use Coat at the beginning here. So we're going to have to go into a live game, I think. We might not have to. Let's try practice first. Normal. That's right. You can't. Yeah. No. You can practice as a as defense. I always forget that it doesn't let you select it at the start. So, Demond, how did you find my channel? I'm just curious. Was it off Reddit or was it something else? And we are going to flip sides. Oh, let's see. What play will not be an instant? I wish I could force the computer to throw specific routes. Let's try this shotgun ace here. And on defense, got to make sure I'm with the right player here. We're going to start with Coat just because I want to see it activate. And then what I'll do is I'll move over to Mr. Galladay since he has no ability on. But we got to get the repeatable test first is the goal here. So number 8 is our test subjects. Just scrolling and looking up how abilities works. Hey, that's how I started this channel, man. Like I legitimately was like, how do these abilities work? And nothing would tell me. So I said, I guess I'll have to figure it out then. It's kind of cool to see, honestly. All right, so I'm going to run this cover 3 match. And I'm going to be not on offense. I think I have to run one play here. Just get rid of that ball. Prince, appreciate you coming in. So what do you notice about the robber safety ability that you can tell us? I use it. I go for it but I don't know much about it. Honestly, like I know I think it makes me better, but I don't know why it makes me better. So I'm gonna try to figure it out. Let's see. I just gotta find a play though that can't. Let's try this gun trio swap here. All right, so we're looking at Mr. Coat. What will make him better? Okay, so it goes off immediately. Okay, that is good to know. What I'm gonna try. So when I do these tests, sometimes I try to figure out ways to calculate this stuff, right? And the only thing I could think of initially was like hash to hash. How long does it take me to move when that robber ability goes off? Because what it should do is it should tell me what the increase of speed with robber to no ability is. So I think that's what we're going to start with. So I will try hash to hash with no turbo and see if it does anything. Okay. I am recording this just so you know, so I can look back at it and then try to actually manipulate the frames and see if I'm faster. And I'm going to do with turbo right here. Okay. When using, I don't have any trip animations or hard cut animations, I feel. Very much it almost makes all horizontal cuts similar to in speeds. That's what you're noticing. Okay, so you're saying no trip animations or hard cut animations. So if I use Countess here, I don't think he has it. Let's see if there's any difference here. Oh, he does have it. Never mind. I mean, trip animations or hard cut animations. Maybe I don't know what those look like. Let's try driver. I just want to see what these look like. Because normally I would play like a nickel. I like playing nickel here, and then trying to get him. Now, maybe there was a hard cut animation there. I'm gonna see if I can do the same thing with Coat. I know the play though, so that's not very fair. I wasn't paying attention on the first one. What do you guys think about how I'm trying to do that? Do you think that gives it a fair assessment to go from one hash to the other and see if there's a speed increase? Because it does say movement in zone, right? It does seem like it's also short, the timer. So you see it kick off, and I mean, I can't even make it from one hash to the next before the robber ability goes away. I don't have to use L2 all the time, so I can turn my back and run and not have to granted at the platinum level. You know, that's one thing. I don't use L2 much on defense. I play corner quite a bit. I just kind of, I'll do more like that right there, where I kind of just keep my finger off of L2, and I keep it. I just kind of like, I'm using the left stick only, no L2, no R2, and I'm just kind of like walking around real nice, like, and then we'll try to make a play after and hit R2 at the same time. I feel like often we overcommit when we're playing defensive back, and people will like kind of go all out. But I think a lot of times you can just kind of like hover almost. All right, so it's upgraded to silver. So I just want to see this real quick. Let me see if I can get silver. That's with. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't edit my players at all, so they're random. So that's not really a fair assessment. That seemed faster. Yeah, let's back it out real quick. I think I might be able to just do this very, very easily. If that can give me realistic results there. Or quantifiable results, excuse me. So let's go into Coat. Let's get his ratings all the same here. All right. So just to ask in the chat here, what abilities have I tested so far that you found interesting? What's the most interesting or the least interesting? That's what I'm going to try to parse out here, Prince, is I'm going to bring my acceleration, I'm going to put them all to 90. And if it does increase the acceleration, we should be able to see that when it goes up per level. So let's put zone coverage at 90 just in case. Put everything at 90. That way we know there's... Actually, let's go 85. I like 85. I like lower abilities because I feel like there's a larger... you would see a bigger increase if you are down a little bit. And play recognition. And my dog's about to bark. All right, 85's across the board. I just got done with the Aftershock video. I don't want to say I got done with it. I'm still working on the Aftershock video that we were filming earlier today. And I'm just randomly clicking buttons here. Okay, here we go. Back into practice. So back into practice, we will run that again. This way we know 85 speed, we know 85 acceleration. Prince says, I was very disappointed in Duress. I invested so much time here. I was thinking if you had an O-line or excuse me, outside linebacker or middle linebacker rush kind of archetype, could make him sim and fire zone pressure is more viable, be a good ability. Yeah, I mean, I was disappointed because I wanted it to work. I think often, like I say in the video, you know, it's like the game is so focused on offensive side. You know, everybody, you know, some of these online dynasties I've been in, it's like if you can make one or two stops, you might win the game. And I'm just getting rid of this one real quick. We got to flip sides. And so my thought process is like, oh, maybe if Duress is really good and you can get pressure on these guys, you'll get some more inaccurate passes, lead to some more turnovers, and then to do that test. And, you know, I've seen some comments on it and people are like, well, you know, this doesn't work or that doesn't work. And I'm like, I saw one that said, it only works when you're like, when the quarterback gets hit. And I'm like, dude, I smoked the quarterback. I absolutely smoked the quarterback, and he still threw an absolute dot on one of the highlights. And I was like, not at one time was I like, oh, that pass was way off. And it's like other people are saying, well, you know, it's because your sliders. And it's like, dude, your default, I get it. Default sliders are not what we play with. But if the default sliders are giving you perfect passes every time, come on. It's the ability it's not working, in my opinion. All right. Anyways, back into this. So we are, let's try this. So I'm going to test again. I'm going to go from one hash to the next on the snap. That was with turbo. Now I'm going to do one without turbo here. Prince says, I cannot stand high scoring games. As a prior college D lineman, I take so much offense if the quarterback scores more than 14 on me, and that's in 12-minute quarters. I am with you. My wife has probably heard me rage a little bit too much. I would rather win a game like 7-3 than 70-45. I cannot stand giving up points. It just feels like just can't stand it. I would rather just not score than give up a ton of points. All right, with turbo. Okay. If you guys can think of a better way to test this, by the way, let me know. So I'm just trying different things and I'm recording them, then I'm going to test them later. Also, I'm going to try forward movement. So let's go from, we'll go from the 15 forward. We want to see how long it takes. Exactly. I don't give a dang what my offense does. Defense. Yeah, I'm with you, man. All right, let's. And the worst part was in 25, I had a really stout defense on my Illinois. Oh, we got silver. Let's do a couple things here. I had a really stout defense, and I was like really proud of that defense actually. I was giving up very little points. People were saying, "Wow, your defense is really good," and then I got into 26, and I was like, I can't stop anything at all. I was Memphis at the start of the dynasty though, so I blamed it on that when it was probably just me. Yeah, so I'm with you. I cannot stand giving up points. So we have silver on right now, and we're going. Let's go from the 15 forward. Okay. And let's go from the 15 backward also. Let's see if there's any difference going back, forward, and left and right. So like I said, I will break this down frame by frame just so we can see it. All right, so we have something there. Now I'm going to go back. I'm going to put on platinum. I'm just going to see if there's a noticeable difference without doing anything, without really breaking it down frame by frame, if there's just a noticeable difference with this guy. Change of direction. I don't know why I didn't think that was going to be the change of direction is the big thing for this one. For some reason I was thinking it was going to be zone coverage. Anyways, let's see. I got to look it up real quick before I do this. Let's see. Change of direction. It's a 93. It's got to be a 93. That's the lowest one. Well, how do you gotta have a 95 acceleration for a lurker linebacker to get this, or a change of direction of 93? That just seems unfair. All right. Jack says, I have a user versus user playoff game in Dynasty tonight, and it's the same guy I lose to every year. Wildcat runs and quarterback rollouts all game. It drives me nuts. So from what grain of salt on this one, but what I've always heard is if you do the El Paso stunt out of a 4-man front, that should help against quarterback scrambles to the outside, because it's gonna, the stunt is for your defensive tackles to really be the loopers to the outside. Now it does give up a lot of stuff up the middle. Also, I think the 4-4 defense, I want to say that that's going to be good against your Wildcat. Or you could probably go with 3-3-5. I'm a big 3-3-5 tight person. I run a lot of 3-3-5 tight. Certainly if I'm going against somebody who I know is going to run the ball, it's 3-3-5 tight off the rip. And that was actually, I got that tip from Mills, because it's the defensive, it really stops like inside zones. That's what it's for. And 90% of this community knows how to do one thing, which is run inside zone. El Paso is such a bait and switch. It'll make him think he's got the edge just to get smoked. Yeah, that's fair. And most people don't run El Paso. They run the Texas. So they're trying to get that up the middle pressure, and then it's just going to stunt to the outside. Is that a stunt out of a specific player, just an audible? It's a stunt. It's a stunt. So here, I'll show you on here. So we'll just pick a random play. It's going to be 4-2-5. Now, I think, man, it's been a minute. I want to say it's under is going to be your better run fit. And then El Paso. This is the one right here. So again, your edges are going to come down into the guards, and they're going to occupy, and it's going to be more about your nose tackle and your defensive tackle to come out and make the play. 6'7", Kevin Gaming says, I'm a 3-3-5 stack for heavy runners. As somebody who runs the option, 3-3-5 is difficult unless you know how to beat it, which in my opinion is just running the buck sweep. As long as my guards are agile, then I'll run buck sweep all day long. All right, let me get this out of the way, and then we'll flip over. I use Texas if people stay in the pocket, El Paso if they like to scramble. Hey, what's going on, Husker? I just saw you there. Yeah. So also real quick, I just want to try to help Jackster here. Actually, what I do is I like tight, and I'm gonna run probably quarters or palms just for the run fit as much as possible. And then if you really want to, you can El Paso stunt out of that to try to stop the scramble. Never noticed the stunts. It happens, man. That's what we're all in here to learn, right? All right. So right now, just so if you're just tuning in, what we're trying to do is we're getting how does robber work? One, two, what does it do, right? And what I'm doing at the moment is I have this guy. He's got platinum robber right now, and I'm recording all this, and I'm going to break it down later. But I'm going to see, does it help him go from this hash to this hash faster? And then we're also doing forward and backward off the 15-yard line just to get an idea. Is that impacting anything? Okay, so that was with turbo, and then I'm going to flip it and do no turbo and just see how that works on this one. Okay, so it doesn't feel any faster, to be honest. I don't know if that's what it's helping. And then we're going to go forward and backward and then see what happens here. It's turbo. To be frank, EA doesn't do a very good job explaining their games. Ever since Madden 17, the last Madden with actual manual, EA just told the community, y'all figure it out. Hey, you know what? It's kind of given me a little niche to make YouTube with, so I'm okay with it. It's fun to me. I mean, and you know what? The more things are explained to us, the more min-maxing starts, like right at the beginning of the game. So that is one thing. Okay, and that's just back with no turbo. All right, and then let's see, catch up on the chat here. Husker says, I really like the Tempe 4-man because you can get the contain on the dominant side with the Texas style on the backside. So are you running that against a heavy run offense or just a heavy passing offense there, Husker? Okay, so I don't know if he seems faster. I don't know what he's doing. All right, let's see if I can, maybe it's a change of direction thing while I'm in robber. So let's go back and forth. Let's try. Okay, so I don't know if that did anything. Also says, what does it do? It lights up, then I get frustrated because my DB decided to run behind the wide receiver and allow the catch. Yeah, not robbing anything. Kind of like that gas station scene on White Men Can't Jump, right? Let's see. Touch. Back. I don't know. I don't know if this is... I'd say most of the time I saw Robert... Saw my rear is on the deep ends and corner routes very much with a, oh shoot, I'm late, react to the cut. It's almost like an upside down. So 10 yards and out. I run 3-man since, okay. I don't know what Robert's doing right now, guys. I mean, I don't feel like I'm moving faster through the zones. And this is on platinum. A little bit slower of a player, but still, I mean, maybe it's an L2 thing. Let's try L2. I don't think it's going to be an L2 thing, but we'll try. So let's go. Let me hold L2 and I'm going to go left and right on this. Oops, I got to wait. That just looks silly out there. I can't imagine that's going to be any faster for this guy here. Let me do it with Countess. Now he's only got bronze. Maybe a little bit, but not worth it. I can't see that being worth it. I know Robert, it just feels like it works. It's one of those abilities that always lights up, and I mean, maybe I'm You see it so many times that you're like, oh yeah, it's got to be doing something. You can absolutely feel the difference between a player with platinum robber and no robber. But I guess what I'm trying to figure out, Husker, is what difference can we feel, right? Is it just like a change of direction? Is it speed? Yeah, the hard part's proven. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. So here, let me finish this play, and then we'll go back and we'll flip it to somebody who has no robber. Let's go. I should have made Galladay have the same speed and everything. Yeah, here, let me go. Okay, we got Born, so perfect. Born has nothing, right? He's still 85 speed, 85 acceleration, and 85 agility. His change of directions is trash. So let's go change him. Let's go out. So I'm gonna go. I think maybe this will be able to prove it. Let's see. So I'm gonna make Born the exact same as Coates, and we'll see if we can get if it feels the same, or if it's a placebo. So 93 on his change in direction as well, and just to make sure, I think we had 85 on all the things that matter. Personal experience, I always use the mic. It's night and day on the ability to change direction and switch routes I'm covering. Now, here's the question though. If you have a lurker, a linebacker with that means he has a 93 acceleration or 95 acceleration. And is it just that acceleration alone though that's doing that, or the change of direction, or is it actually the ability doing anything for you? Because I'm not going to say that somebody who doesn't have that ability wouldn't be better in the zone coverage, right? Because they're so much faster than your no ability guys. But what does it do? That's what I'm trying to. I assumed that this would be an relatively easy test, but we gotta run a play. Then we'll switch sides here. Oh, maybe I don't have to run a play. Nice. Okay, let's go back. Let's do. Nope, I do. I do have to run a play. The combination. But ability is the biggest factor. All right. Okay, so switching sides. I'm going to run it one time with him, with Coates, and then I'm going to run it I'll flip it out for the next guy. Let's see. So this is Platinum. Ah, shoot, I got to put a random pass on. Most linebackers have pretty low change of direction, so Robber being gated on acceleration makes it especially good for linebackers. I mean, it seems like it would be very expensive to get 95 acceleration on your linebackers, though. I saw that and I was a little perplexed. I was like, geez, like who's getting that ability anyways? All right, let's run this dagger here. So we got Coates. Once again, we are going to just try with Platinum and see how's this look. How fast do we look? With Turbo, okay. Now I will flip it over to Born and we will try it again. I should have done this the first time. So one more time with Coates and then we'll go to Born. He's pretty quick. He got to the other hash mark before that fly route got to the 15. For reference, number 7 on offense, he did not make it. It was at the 14-yard line when I got over to the other hash. Yeah, maybe a yard faster. Are stunts power or finesse moves or both? I think stunts don't play into that necessarily. I think what happens is once the defensive lineman engages the offensive lineman, then they make the decision to use a power or a um, finesse move, and then that's what will happen from there. And Husker says most linebackers can get to 95 acceleration with 3 quickness upgrades because they usually come in with high 80s or low 90s. And okay, all right, interesting. I mean, I can see what you're saying. I feel it, right? So I feel like my free safety right now is slower. What I can't do though is I can't prove it at the moment. So hold on, let's see. Let's break this down a little bit. So I'm going to put the controller down for a second, and we're going to actually flip over to windowed mode if I can get everything over here. Let me stop the recording, not the stream, just the recording. All right, and then we're going to open up what we just did in Canova here. And let's see if we can actually get this. Don't want to save that. All right, and can I get a, you know, I knew I needed to set this up. Let's select a window to capture Canova. And all right, let's see. Let me know real quick. Can you guys see what I'm doing over here? If I'm moving this around, just let me know. Does everything look fine to you? Like I'm just like scrolling through everything. I want to make sure that you guys can see what I'm actually looking at here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up that last little bit of the testing, right? So we had Coates in. So we had this one test with Coates, and I'm going to put a timer on him. So let's put a timer on Coates here. And I'm going to go frame by frame. Let's see if we can wait for that snap. Oh, one good thing about, I don't want to go off the snap. I got to go off the movement. One thing I noticed, though, when you're on offense, you'll see the snap, your player underneath there, a ring will go, this little green ring will go black for a split second, which is nice to know. So I'm going to see when we actually take off here. Okay, Robert's up. Okay, there I go, right? So let's, I would say I probably hit the button right here, right there. So we'll start this timer right there. Let's zoom out a little bit and stop that timer. Maybe what, right there? What I'm going to call it. Not easy to see, but I would say crosses the finish line. I'm looking at the foot, so I'm going to say crosses the finish line right there. So we'll just go with that. So 1.8 seconds is what we're looking at for the first one right there. All right, now, I mean, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do that shuttle drill right now. Sort of do the shuttle drill. All right, now we got the other guy. So this is the same speed, acceleration, and agility and change of direction, but with no ability. So let's go. Let's put a timer right here for him. And now I know it won't be perfect, but I do know. Golly, I feel like I'm slow on this one. All right, so it's probably right there. It looks like his arms are moving. And I would say foot crosses right there. So 1.88 versus 1.80. That could be just chalked up to user error, honestly. I don't know if you guys can see all that. I really hope you can. But I don't know. So looking at that, that's platinum versus nothing. That even so my I assume I messed up on that, right? With the 1.88 versus the 1.80. But even if I didn't, that's too small of a margin for a platinum to whatchamacallit. So maybe I would have to do that shuttle drill. Maybe it's a back and forth thing. Like I start in the middle, I go left, and then I go right. On another note, I have a senior free safety with a platinum robber, platinum ball hawk, and house call. Thought I had Sean Taylor, and then his backup won the Thorpe. You put too much pressure on him, man. You put too much pressure on him. All right, let's go back over to. Let's close that. Let's go back over here. Any thoughts on that? I think you need one with full change of direction. Let's give that a shot. Let's try that out. So let's go back in and we'll start with coat here. Now, man, how do I want to do a change of direction? Maybe forward and backward. Maybe I can do that. So maybe I start here and I go right there. Maybe I could do that. I'll try to do a couple things here. So maybe we can get a couple change of direction things on here. So let's go. I'm going to start middle. I'm going to start right in the middle, and I'm going to go, let's say left, right, left, or left, right. Okay. We'll try both of those now with Born. So I'm just going to let this one play out. So I did 5 yards. What did I do? I did back forward. That's what I did. Okay, so that was the 5 yards back, 10 yards forward. And now we're going to go middle to left to right. I don't know. I think that was about the same. I felt about the same. So here, hold on. Let's pull that up. Oh, I wasn't recording. Man, this is the amount of times I do this. All right, let me start my recording. I'm streaming, but I wasn't recording. So let's do this again. Okay, so that's the left to right, and then we're going to do back to forward. So we'll go. This is all with R2, and I'm trying to go as fast as I can. And now we'll flip it back over to the platinum. And see how this plays out. He feels slower, but I just can't identify exactly what it is. All right, so now we're going to go left, right. That felt fast. That felt faster. Yeah, I recorded a whole 40-minute video one time and realized my mic was off. Oh, I always do a little quick test. I'm looking at my stuff is it on right now? All right, so we got what I perceived. We got some tests done there. So stop the recording. Let me open it up in Canova. And we will see if we can see a difference here. All right, so let's bring you guys over to the window. Make sure I'm on the right thing here. Okay, so we are on the right thing here. And now we are gonna, so we got, this is the without any ability player. Let's put a timer up. This is going to be his left, right. And let's zoom in. Let's see if we can time this out from when I actually start making the movement. So probably right there. I see his hand start moving. Action, start. Okay. Play this out. And let's see when he crosses that imaginary line there. I'm going to say probably... Yeah, I'll give him right there. 3.35 seconds. So that's his left, right. And then we'll do another one here for his back and forward one. So back and forward. Okay, so I'm going to go with the turn of the hips there. So I'm going to say I started to probably push the stick. And then we're going to go till we cross this line right here, which looks like his foot is on the line right there. So we'll call it right there. Now, I know this isn't perfect, right? But if there is a difference, we will see a difference. And it should not be by 0.04 seconds, which is about what we're going to see on each frame there. All right, and let's check the chat real quick. Let's see. You need floats, okay. Base the timing on the circle under him. That's not a bad idea, since that's technically what you're controlling anyways. And that is not a bad idea. I probably should have done that. I'm going to go with the foot on this one, though. Again, because it's so close that, man, I should have done that. That's a good idea. But it's so close that it's only going to be maybe 0.4 difference, and we should see a difference between those two. So coat. Let's do another one right now. And let's say, okay, so he is moving probably, I'm going to say probably right there is when you can see the hips start to move. I'm probably pushing the stick. So right there, we'll start it. Oh, is that user? Is that just skill there? I mean, I could call it right here. I think I could call it. Probably his knees over. That's saving a little bit of time on that. Okay. Let's keep this going. All right, so let's look at the next one, which is going to be the back and forward movement. Okay. Hips are, I'm going to say hips start turning right here. So right there on that frame. Let's bring up another stopwatch. Start it. And we're going to this marker right here. Right there. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know. I think that I'd qualify that. What do you guys think, chat? Do you think that is a result that we could say, yep, that did it right there? That is a change. So we're losing 0.17 seconds from the left, right, and we're losing 0.16 or so from the forward back movement. What do you guys think on that one? I don't think that's like user error. And that's, if it's so close, if it was like 0.89 or something, I'd be like, no, that's not good. I feel like that's consistent with my experience. Now, let's see. Hold on. Let me just take a little look-see here at what the actual, oops, I just hit my mic. Actual difference in time would be here. So what's the percentage difference between 3.18 and 0.35. I'm being lazy. I'm having AI do it for me. So you're losing about it says 5.35% from 3.35 to 3.18. That would be even more exaggerated with a linebacker with a low change of directions. It would be. Now, but that's the thing though, is like we're testing out just abilities on this. Yes, if I had a linebacker with 75 change of direction, you know what I mean? Like maybe if you're going like signal caller to lurker with platinum, you're gonna feel it, right? But if I have a hybrid free safety that has the same types of abilities, or same type of attributes, am I seeing the same thing? I mean, I'm seeing a 5% change, but that's no ability to platinum. I don't know if that's that good. I mean, it's obvious that it's there, but I don't know if it's that good. Maybe I'm doing I mean, I guess the more changes is kind of similar to Shifty. The more you change direction, the more. So I'm back in the game right here. The more you're going to see it, even with high 80s. I wonder if it's like the more you change direction, the more you're going to see the advantage, right? So if I was like bouncing, like I think of my slalom test I did on the change of direction. Is that what is going to help me? Less effect on a DB that could easily have 99 change of direction. Sure. But if it's all neutral, right? So like let's say you have a signal caller linebacker, and that signal caller linebacker that does not have robber also has a 95 acceleration and 90 change of direction because he's a beast. At that point, it's only going to be a 5% increase, wouldn't it? Is that like that's what I'm thinking. That is interesting though, guys. I don't know if that's the test to do it. I don't know if this test is. I mean, I can see a difference, but I don't know how much of a difference I can see. So, it's about that time. I'm gonna go pick my kid up from daycare. So I appreciate you guys tuning in and helping me out with this test and talking about it. Yeah, leave a like on this. I would appreciate it. And hopefully we'll be figuring out a good way to do this and get a repeatable experience that I can give you guys some real good hard data on. You think it'll be more? You know what, Husker, for you, I think I will try linebackers. I will try linebackers with this one just for you. But I'm not going to be able to do it today as I got to go pick up the kid. Great talking to you guys. Always appreciate it. You guys take it easy. Check out the video I have tomorrow, which is, I think it's Juke. No. It's Outside Shield. Highly recommend it. Watching the video and the ability. All right, guys. You guys take it easy. Catch you hopefully tomorrow.